Hello, hello, hello. I'm back with the next card. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but we're going to do it one way or another. So I have another one of my recent, I don't know if this is, I've had this for a while. I no longer, it starts to blur together after a while. So this is something I got recently from Spellbinders from one of my hauls, or I've had this for forever. I no longer know. But it was there. It's screaming to be done. There's a good chance. I'm going to do my version of this one because I do not have, this is a glimmer plate, and I don't have that glimmer plate, but I've decided to go left field with it. So we're going to emboss instead. And I have this embossing folder that I've had for a long time. I really, really have, and I love it. So it's going to get used as a background. I'm actually going to do some inking. I haven't done that in a while because we're going to also use the mat and my little magnets to see how that goes. So let me get cracking on this. So I'm going to first start off by getting the marquee out. Hello, I should have already had that out and on the desk because I already cheated and I cut out my A2 bases. I'm going to go, and I made today's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to go to my mother-in-law's, but I'm going to do a lot of editing, so I don't think I'm going to have time. What I want to do is on one of those days that I go somewhere like hers or to my mom's is take a stack of paper and my die cutter and cut these cards out and cut card bases already cut, because I see all the YouTubers that do have their acts together. That's what they do. I'm not one of them, but I'm working on it, okay? There's always room for improvement. So I got my little Misty bottle of water. I have my 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to put the dies to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and mist this down just a little tiny bit, just because it'll allow it to imprint even better. I'm going to insert it in my folder, and I'm going to have to trim this down more than I was actually planning on doing. Or I'm going to go for another folder. So that's the other option, but we're going to see what happens when I do this. So let's run it through. That's the lovely thing about the marquee. It will, all you have to do when you're using an embossing folder is just run it through. You don't need another plates or anything like that. The folder itself. And look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, and you know what I say? If you're gonna make one, make 4, but I'm only making 2 right now, just because I'm just gonna go ahead and since I have it right here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this panel too. So we're gonna go here. I already know what I'm gonna do. Now I've added an extra step to this, but that's okay, because this is what you do. You get, this is part of the creative process. You go into left field, because now my original plan was I really wanted to mount white on white, because I thought that was going to look uber elegant. It doesn't mean I won't. I just wanted to have very minimal trimmage. And what do you guys think? There's a part of me, this one warped a little bit on the edge, but I could fix that. If I'm looking at this, and had I cut it bigger, you know what? Give me a second. I'm going to be right back. All right, kids, I am back. It took me a little bit of doing. I actually run multiple panels through the marquee, and the marquee kept warping it, so it had too much pressure. So I went back to my pink lady over there, Oh Faithful, and I just die cut it out of the scissors. You don't need to see that. Just take my word for it. And it ended up not warping, and I cut the paper a little bit bigger. So I cut it like 4 in chump and by 6. And then trimmed it down to get this edging. So this is not like a true A2. This is more like what the UK does. And even then, I've got a little bit of edging over here. I'll take that off in a second. But it did work. And then, of course, I had to cut the card base up for it to fit. And it's still not perfect, but I'll trim that off in a minute. But I wanted to let you know that, because now I get that pretty edging that I never get. And like I said, I've had this for years. And I've gone a long time without using it. And now I'm using it again. Usually I just trim that edge off, but this time I'm determined to use that really pretty little frame edge that you see on it. So yeah, that's what I did for this one. So now let's go for this, but I'm going to die cut these out, but out of different colors. But what I want to do first is go ahead. I'm going to ink a background on this. Okay, I am back with a piece of my famous Nina paper. That was, I have a big stack of it still. I have quite a bit still left from my collection from at Scrapbook Expo a couple years ago that was just being thrown away. I'm like, no. Okay, so I want to ink up a background because this is going to be die cut. I'm not going to make a shaker out of this one. I'm just going to mount this on top of it. If you look at back here, it looks to me, it could be a solid piece of paper, or it could be made, the argument could be made that it was inked. But I'm going to ink because I never do that. And it's something I'm like, I don't do it because I'm not good at it. Well, you know what? I'm not going to get good at it if I don't do it. Right? Makes the argument. Okay, so I'm grabbing three. I grabbed three of my colors here, just so you can see. I grabbed Tattered Rose, Warm Lipstick, and then the Victorian Velvet. And we're going to make a bit of an ombre here, or valiantly attempt to. We'll see. We'll see how successful I am in this endeavor. But I'm going to start in with my Tattered Rose, which is a really, really pretty, pale, rose pink, just color. But the upside of using Tim Holtz's Distress Oxides is if you don't know what you're doing, the ink itself is very forgiving and helps you look competent when you are completely incompetent. So let me go in with my warm lipstick. This has got to be my favorite pink, I think, of the Distress, or just of the Tim, is this warm. I've literally worn it out, used up all of another pad I had, and then I found a little mini cube, and I realized I need to go to a full-size pad of this. So let me just go in here, and obviously it needs a little bit more blending, but again, that's the great thing about these, is that they blend together, and they're very forgiving, and again, they make you look like you know what you're doing. And they're not done blending together. It's like you turn around and you work on something else, and they come back, and the blending fairies come by and fix it all for you. There we go. It's already looking better, actually. I'm kind of impressed with myself. I know, God, guys. It's like, oh, okay, we do this, and now let's go in with, because I think I've gone too high, because it's not like this heart is that tall, so we may not even see very little of this. But I'm doing this large panel because I'll probably be able to get 2 to 3 hearts out of here, depending on how I die cut them. So it's a little bit darker. It's a more, almost like a more plummy, not plummy, but more purpley. I'm not sure. Let me go in now and make these blend together. I want to bring in a little bit more of this. And my arm is tired. Hence the other reason I don't do a lot of this. It's like my arm, and this is my bad arm. This is the one from, I had a car accident, gosh, back in 1997. And I was T-boned by a drunk driver who ran a light. And I lived. That's the good thing. I survived that accident, but I think a lot of it had to do with the car I was driving. I was driving an old 76 Chevy. No, it was my ex-husband's beloved car, and it gave up the ghost, saving my life. But that thing was built like the Sherman tank. I never liked the car. That's what I used to call it, the Sherman tank. But it saved my life. The witness to the accident said I went airborne. That was a big car to go airborne. And they had to cut me out the jaws of life. I was in the newspaper. It was all kinds of excitement. I have no memory of the accident. I had a concussion, and they think it was because my head banged around all over the place. But because I didn't hit anything. And they hit me from the passenger side, and they hit the car so hard that it crushed the car all the way into me and fractured my shoulder and my collarbone in 5 pieces. So this arm is a hot mess. But I lived. That's the important thing. God's grace, I lived. Anyway, you don't need to hear that, but now you know more of my ever illustrious funky history. Let me blend that just a little bit more here. But I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. Okay, we're good. We're going to call that good. Because now when we take these out, let's break these out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and these are, see, spellbinders, you need to work with me. You need to give me those little top tabs that I can then cut off and make these into, slip and slides. And I wanted to use this one too, so I'm going to definitely, yeah, I can, if I get lucky, I'm going to get 2. Although I could go this way, and I'd for sure get 2. Do I want to go that way? Do I want to go? I had envisioned going this way. So let's take, I never do this because I want to be like perfect. I never scissors things hardly ever at all, but it doesn't matter on this one. So now we're going to grab my friend, the Marquis de Cortar, we're going to grab a pair of my embossing folders. And I am going to take it to the edge in hopes, and I'm going to go high. Shoot. If I go high, I want to go and take advantage, but we'll hardly see at the very bottom. Okay. Let me grab a piece of washi tape here I have, just to hold this in place. We'll put that down, cover it up. Let's cut this baby out, because what I really want to see is if I can actually get 2 hearts out of this piece of paper. That is the entire thing. Oh, look how pretty that is. I am pleased. Oh, I can't do it. Although, well, look, I can. Let's, you know what? Let's play with this. At the end of the day, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It is, again, the beauty of a handcrafted item. And any other cliche you can come up with right now. I'm out. I'm all allergic today. My nose is runny. My nose has been bloody. It's been not fun. Alrighty. You know what? Either work, really. But I did get, the point was I wanted to get 2 panels out of this piece of paper. So now I have that all cut out. And now I want to die cut this. If I can get it removed, and I'm being stubborn because all I really have to do, instead of warping, and let me move this because this will react to anything wet, and undo, even though it's the miracle fluid is wet. Although, gee, I wonder what undo would do to a Tim Holtz. Ah, that is an experiment for another day. There we go. At this point, I have pull that off, and I will just lay down Big Mama tape. Okay, I'll set that aside. And now, let me grab, I have it under here. I was going to use a piece of, did I want to use this? Because, ooh, I have several options here. I can cut off a piece. I wanted a big contrast, because although they did, in the sample, it's done in gold. So I could go with this, which would look really, really, I think, really cool. Or, hang on a second, I'm sorry. Ugh. I could grab a piece of my rose gold, which would also work. Or, you know what I could do? One of each. Because I think, and then we can make a decision. So, oh my goodness. No, it's like stuck. I can't. There we go. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. So give me a second. I'm going to be right back. But I'm going to cut one of each. Kids, I am back with my blended panels, my die cut hearts. Aren't these just amazing? They are just, they're beautiful. Here, let's put up against it. You can see they're just breathtaking. Ah, they just are. They're so awesome. And there's a little piece here. There's actually several. So let's poke those out real quick. All those little pieces. Ah, way more than I expected. I saw just one piece and now suddenly 7 million show up. Of course. I didn't invite them to the party. What the heck? Okay, there we go. So now we have them all poked out. Oh, one more. There's always the one straggler. Okay. So now we have both of these. So we are ready to literally... Let me make sure there's anybody here. Okay, see, there's one over here too. Holy cow. Okay, so we have these ready to glue together. So I'm going to go ahead and use this time my Nuvo because, again, it dries quickly. And we're going to do what I love to do, is to draw around the edge in glue. Because it's time consuming, it's painstaking, I'm not impatient, I'm whiny and snivelly, and there you go. it just is, I'm a malcontent. I admit it. I just like, I want to do it fast and quick, even if it's the worst way. It's my road to perdition. Okay, we'll do one at a time. Look at this one. Close my lid so that doesn't get all gummed up. Come here. I got some glue on my hands. Make sure I'm off so I don't wipe it on anything. And we'll get this one put down, and oh my goodness, they're just so pretty. I love when we get tools that make us look like we're just amazing. because I am not all that and a package of paper. Unless it's pretty paper, then yeah, I'll take the compliment. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, now we'll do the light pink one on this one. Oh, I love these. Oh, look how pretty they are. They make my work look so awesome. Because it ain't all that. All right, so now we are ready. I went ahead and since I cut out 2 hearts using the different colors, I went ahead and die cut and, not die cut, but I went and cut out another panel and embossed it as well. So we are ready to do a little assembly work. So which way do I want to go? Do I want to tape this down or do I want to glue this down? I think we're going to glue this down. Just because I never do that. So we're going to go around the edges. Whoops. I see a little flooful of glue. So we'll do one and then I'll do the other one off camera because we don't need this much torturous time. On tape. I'm just really going to go, and you notice I'm not going into the die, because it's embossed upwards, or embossed, I'm on the deboss side, I can't go right to the edge because it's, indented in. So, we're just going to go and add a little bit in the middle, not a lot. I don't have to go crazy here. I just want to make sure I caught the edge, all the way around the edge. And I'm going with my Barely Art, again, because takes a few more seconds to dry and it gives me a little bit of widget because I know that I cut my card longer than it needs to be. So I'm gonna have to trim off a little bit off the top. I just did it on purpose just for the sake of expediency because it's not gonna be a big deal. And of course, here we go again doing what I love to do, which is centering a panel on a card back. But that didn't work out too badly. Okay, so now let me go and do this one. Okay, before we completely assemble, actually we'll be assembling, but I'm ready to sentiment too. So I am, thank the Lord that I remembered where things are. This is a rare occurrence, okay? So, maybe we should go buy lottery tickets because who knows when that miracle will happen again. But I remember this is just barely from the January stamp of the month, my whole January kit. That we got these, the hearts and everything, which I haven't done anything with. I gotta get cracking with this. And my Be My Valentine with the banner. And then this guy, I remembered, was from the January 2021, because now I write on the back of them. And I got Happy Valentine's Day. And because I really think these cards are just the paper, and this speaks volumes, that I want my sentiment to be subtle. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp subtly. So let me find a scrap piece of paper because I have a ton of it right now. And we're going to go to the business of subtly stamping all of this down and then die cutting them because it'll make it easier. Yay for having cool stamps and yay for having banner die cuts that fit them. Woo-hoo. Thank you, Spellbinders. So, and again, this is from the January 2021. So lucky. Stamp kit. And let me go ahead, and since I have it in my hot little hands, let's rub it on up like as if we were a cat. I want to stamp right side up. At this point, I don't care how wasteful I am of paper. And while I'm at it, since they're both the same type of stamps, we could stamp both of them at the same time. Imagine that, a moment of efficiency. Dudes, man, I'm on a roll. We'll pull this out, and then we're going to take a moment before I put them away and apply the packing tape to them. So I give enough space so that that die will go around them. Because I am unconcerned about whether I'm wasting paper or not right now. I have so much scrap white paper, it's not even funny. Oh my gosh, and why am I concerned about whether it's straight or not? Because I can straighten it out in the die cut, when I die cut. Did I pick them all up? Yep, that works. And I picked up the paper too, because the stamps themselves are sticky. But that's okay, I can solve that problem with a couple of magnets. And I know that my VersaFine is right here, because I've been keeping it handy in my lovely organizational tray. Did I tell you guys I love that thing? Oh my god, I love that thing. There we go. We are just going to Not go press too hard. I can always go over it a couple of times. Oh, that's perfection. Step a little bit there. Guys, look at that. That is perfect. You know what I should do? Is we're going to do that. And we'll probably use, actually, because I have 2 more. I cut out 2 of each of those hearts, so I will be doing 2 more. So what the heck? Let's be efficient and have these already done. Because remember, if I said if you're going to cut 1, cut 4. I did. So you have no idea. I have a stack of these cards. I haven't all finished of all the extras I cut to make. So some of them will probably be going with me today, although what I really plan on doing watching the Super Bowl is edit video. Okay. So let me wipe my stamp real quick. Come here. Because we always clean them up before we put them back. And where's my towel? Ah! I just sent one to the floor. Come back, beast. Okay, we'll put you away. Now let's see if I can locate that stamp. Are you kidding me? Okay, guys, give me a second. Okay, I found it. I had to whip out the flashlight to find it because it was right there, right at my feet. I was practically staring right at it. I just couldn't see it because it was dark down there. So now I'm just going to divide this out. I'm hoping I'm not cutting too close, because I'm going to have to run this through like literally now. And well, let me first do this and see if I have enough space. Let me center this, because we are ready to die cut these little sentiments out. Oops. There's always this painstaking part. I'm just going to do one and then I'll do the rest off camera, because otherwise we'll be here for 3 days. Oh my gosh. And if I weren't so AR. All right, stay right there. Don't move. Let me not even breathe. Okay. So hopefully this doesn't backfire me and I didn't cut. Okay. Too much off, but I'm putting tape on both sides so that it doesn't move, because it's already did. There we go. Now let me grab my lovely little Archeems. My goodness. I cannot speak. Grab that, put that through, run it through. Come here, move you guys. Move this through the marquee. We'll do one real quick. And look! A perfect banner piece. Yes! Okay, give me a second. I'm going to get the others cut up. Alrighty, we are back. As it should come to no surprise to anybody, yes, I cut too close. You saw me snip? Yep, you're right. I snipped too close. So I had to come back and stamp another one out. I didn't feel like changing the stamps again. So I have more Be My Valentines than I have Happy Valentine's Day. But that's okay. We are not going to stress. I'm just going to put my little foam, where my scissors. Come here, scissors. And we're going to add our little foam to the backs of our sentiments, because I want to go subtle with the sentiment, because the paper, and I want that to be the rock star of this card, the paper and the die cut. So we're going to go subtle on the sentiment. We do not have to be explosive with Be My Valentine or Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to go ahead, and because I'm going to make 2 more, and the other 2 are going to be My Valentines, the heck with that. I just have to really quickly color up another panel, but I'll do that later. And add it to the pile of cards that are, I'll now have a stack of Valentine cards for next year. And I'll be ready to send them out and not have to be like making them and sending them, making them and sending them. No. We're not going to make a mail. We're going to stockpile. And I think that's how it's going to be. And we'll always have, I'll have next year's cards already done. And then start on a new pile. Whatever I come out of here, because I have so much stuff there still, without buying anything new, to make a bunch of cards. And there you go. Alrighty, so let's see. Let me grab. I need my Happy Valentine's Day, and then all of these say Be My Valentine, so that's easy. So now we are ready to finish the assembly of this card. Right. You know what? Although, wait a minute. No, because I want to do I want to go ahead and do sentiments before I add my die cuts and everything on here, because it's easier to work in the MISTI. So one moment, please. Kids, I'm back. I wanted to save you a little bit of the painstaking of me trying to put these stamps in place, but I ended up pulling up, this is from Elizabeth Craft. It's one of my Elizabeth Craft stamps sets. But I wanted to keep with the subtlety, but I also wanted to decorate a little bit. So I went in and put in Love You to Pieces here, and then the hearts, but I'm going to switch out. So on the one that says Be My Valentine, it's going to say Love You to Pieces. And then on the one that says Be My Valentine, I'm going to put Happy Valentine's Day on it. But I'm going to do 2 ink colors because I want to. Whoops. Oh, that was great. That was genius. That's okay, because no foul, no harm, no foul. I just didn't put my magnet down. Or I did, and I just didn't put it on the card. Or who knows, because these are, again, new stamps where my other magnets are here stuck to the glass. So we'll do that. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think I rubbed up this one, so before I forget, let me rough up my stamps. And one of my little hearts went flying, of course. Oh, for goodness sakes. This was a pain in the butt. This little guy was massively obnoxious to do. This is what I was trying to save you from seeing. This little guy was not fun because he sticks to you. Is that where I want him? I want him a little cattywampus this way. And we're going to call it good because he's a pain in the butt. There we go. That's the one that sticks. Look at that. That's the problem child. Evil little heart. Little devil. Okay, so we're going to go this way. So let's start with the black first for my sentiment. The hearts I'm planning on doing in the Cranberry Bliss. Just because. Okay, there we go. Boy, was that a bad job. Then we go here. Rub. And I still smeared a little bit, but interestingly, I don't know why. Because it's not where the obvious place is, but I'm going to go ahead and clean that off now. As well as my stamp, because I won't be using it. I'm going to switch over to another one in a minute. The hearts will stay because I'm going to do the hearts on both cards. So there we go. Now I got it good and clean. And I'll put them on top for right now, and I'll put them away in a second. Now let's ink up my thumb. Oh. There we go. Let's ink that up really good. I think that's the way it is. Okay. Okay. Where's my lid? Let's move this card out of the way before I get ink on it somehow. Because I have special powers for that. Superpowers. Alright, there we go. Oh, I like it. I'm going to come in. Actually, I'll come in with this magnet. But I want to stamp it again. It looks kind of blurry. I don't know if it's the stamp or it's the ink I'm using. I'll clean off around here. Just in case. A little, fair share of paranoia never hurt anybody. There we go. Alrighty. Oz happy. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, okay? Well, that was an interesting break. Not only did I put the foamies down, but I had to wrestle with my armored shoe who decided to go all by itself, was possessed. I'm looking at him like, wait a minute, where are you? It's been a battle with this thing. It's because I'm using my S21 Plus, and that's a heavy camera. But I've noticed the difference in the video, so I've switched over to using it, but it's a heavy camera for this thing, apparently. So I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe I need to get a tripod. I don't know, but it seems to be stable and not moving. So let's get this done. Let's get this card done. So I did stamp both of them on the inside. Love you to pieces. And happy Valentine's Day with my little hearts. Yay! It's the little things, right, guys? Okay, so now let's get to the business of assembling, because this shouldn't take more than 3 hours. Give or take. Right? Right. No. I realized, no, we're going to go with this anyway. And where are my... Maybe these are not my... Oh, I turned my mug around so I can't see anything. So let's go ahead and... Okie dokie. I'll just lay down this glue because it gives me a little bit of squiggle time. I'm going to lay it down. It may be a little bit thicker, but not overly thick, because remember, we already realized what happens when you lay it in over it overly thick on a card or two ago. It buckles the paper, which I knew that. Hello. Duh. Okay, so we'll start with this guy. I think where I want to put him is not too high, not too low, because I'm going to put this down like here. So that's just a fake placement, just so I can decide. And I think we're going to settle on right there. I just want to make sure he's straight, not cattywampus, and centered. And there you go. This is not rocket science. It's just gluing paper onto paper, but it's pretty. So you want to do a good job, because this is one of becoming one, and it's such a simple card, and it's become one of my favorites now. So it's like, who knew? And here I am ink blending. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm back out of my comfort zone again. Because I love it. I love seeing people do it. I just don't do enough of it myself. And like I said, if I did more of it, I'd be better at it. And then I'd do more. Makes sense, huh? We need to get in with the program here. And incorporate ink blending more into my card making. All right, let's put the lid back on. I got this going. We have the Super Bowl going on here. We weren't going to watch. Actually, Steve is at his mom's watching it on her brand new TV. I got a migraine. And I am now barely coming back to life. And I'm unnauseated. But it's like I'm going to leave in the middle of the game. And he's going to work anyway. So he goes from his mom's. He's going to go straight to work because this is his Monday. So I think what I'm going to do is go to my mom's anyway, like I had planned. That's what we were planning on doing. So, okay, that looks good. Now let's get our sentiments down. Let's do this, because we are almost done with these blessed cards. Let's do one first, and I'm still going to do the gluey thing. But I'm watching, they're showing all the famous people at the football. They're just showing right now Emmitt Smith. Like I care. All right. I am here to see the Rams win. Shit. Sorry, you didn't hear that. Nobody heard that. I'm like, okay, let's get this one down now. And pull him. We need to pull him a little bit to the right. Are we good there? It looks good. Good enough. Okay, we have Be My Valentine, and now, please tell me I did this correctly. Yes! Thank you, Lord. I forgot to look at the inside. That would have been priceless. I would have been then. Undo and I are becoming fast friends here. We are best buds. I pull that sucker out all the time. Excuse me. And I will lay down this sentiment as well. Right? Okay, so who saw the Sopranos commercial? The Silverado with the Sopranos. I'm like, I knew that song immediately. I was a huge Sopranos song. Or not Sopranos, but a Sopranos fan. I watched all the seasons. And there was, Meadow. And I forget what his son's name now was. Totally can't even bring it up. But there you go, guys. I know that was just a sideline. We've got this done. Oh my gosh. I am really, really super pleased with how these turned out. I mean, the only thing I possibly would have done differently is this one is a diagonal, because I was going to be determined to use that little piece. And I'm not completely sold. You guys have to tell me what you guys think. This one, oh, So yes, I'm ready to make 2 more with the, and just really quickly ink up. But there you have these 2 additional. So we're on our way. We're almost there. Maybe I'll make it. But if we don't, I'll be okay with that too. And apparently this came down some more. So if you guys were closing in on it, apparently you were, because this looks lower than the way I left it and at an angle that I didn't leave it. So there you go. That's the entertainment here at the Scrapping Room of Madness. But thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with me with this card. I hope you enjoyed it. Took a little bit away from, watching me struggle and learn through things. But I don't even know if you can get this embossing folder anymore. But it is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. But there are other kind of all that viney, wispy things. And white on white. And then the pop of color being the heart with everything to me was just perfect. And I don't often come up with something with a really great idea. And that was partially taken from the sample. I just did it up, I did my twist on it. So again, remember, when you see samples and instructions, they're guides, not girdles. Do your thing, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And if you want to see more, then obviously subscribe and ring the bell, because I will be here again. Otherwise, have a great rest of your afternoon or day or morning or whatever it is. And don't forget that here in the Crafting Corner of Madness, we're all a little mad here. So let's craft the madness together. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.